I was wondering if anyone can tell me if this means something. If you look at the options for any stock, really, for example, right now, if I look at Meta and I look at January 2024, if I look at the at the money strike, so the closest thing would be probably the 90 strike, you could see that the put is trading for almost $18, but the call is trading for $22. So the call is definitely worth more. It's about $4 more. So it's not actually just a difference of 89 to 90, the fact that the put is $1 in the money. In fact, the put is in the money and the call is out of the money, yet the put is worth less than the call. The break even on the put, if you were to sell, for example, the 90 put, your break even is 90 minus 18. So your break even would be $72 if you sold the put. But if you sold the covered call, or if you bought the covered call, which is the exact same thing, but using calls instead of using put, and buying shares instead of promising to buy shares. So it's the exact same thing, same P&L, just different transaction. So if the stock is trading at around 89 and you can sell the call for 22, your break even is 67. So that's a big difference between selling the put versus buying the covered call. That's a $5 difference to sell the call versus selling the put. So there seems to be a call skew going on right now. Does that mean that there are more people interested in the call, so there are more buyers of calls? A price of something will go up if there's more demand than supply. So if the calls are more expensive than the put, that means there's more demand for the call. So does that mean the market thinks that by January 2024, which is the expiry I chose here, the market thinks that we're going to go up? Let me look at a different expiry. Let's look at January 2023. And let's look at the 90 strike. So here you can see they're trading for about the same thing, but the break even still benefits the call. So if I do if I look at the put side, the break even 90 minus 8.25. Break even is 81.75. On the call side, the break even is 89 minus 8. It's 81. So it's, there's a slight skew, but not enough to say anything about it. But definitely January 24, we noticed a difference. Let's try a different stock. Let's try Google. Let's look at January 2024 again. So right now it's at 83.50. So what's the closest strike? So let's go to 84. So 84, the put is $11.20 or $11.50 about. You can see the call is $15. So that's another big difference. Let's look at the break even. So the break even on the put side would be 84 minus 11.25. So that's 72.75. And on the call side, the stock is at 83.5 minus 15.5. So that's 68. So 68 versus 71, I believe I said. So another big difference of about 375. So not as big as Meta, but still a big difference. Let's look at the 1 year. Let's look at January 2023, which is over here. We've got 83. We've got the 83.50 strike. Perfect. So you can see it's worth $5 for the put and it's worth $6 for the call. So there's a slight skew again on the call side, but not that big. Now let's go further. Let's look at January 2025. 83. There's no 83.50, so let's just look at the 80 strike. So if we sell let's look at the break even. So if we sell the 80 put, so the 80 minus 12.3, so that's 67.7 break even. And if we do that in calls, if we use a covered call instead, stock's at 83.5 minus the call is about 24.15 or 24, so that's 59.5. So as you can see, break even is much lower on the call side. I already forgot what it was on the put side. I said 80 minus 12.3, 67. Wow, minus 59. So that's $8.70 of a difference. So you're actually, if you want to sell options, you're better off selling a covered call than selling a put, especially if you're going far. Let's try like December, not that far off. I don't know if that's an indication that the market is bullish, or bullish in a year or so, or in 2 years. I mean, January 2024 is about a year away. So in a year, the market is bullish based on the call skew. I'm not sure if it means anything, but I mean, we looked at Meta, we looked at Google. Just if I look at December here, you could see December 84. Yeah, in December short term, there's no call skew. But let's look at the general market. Let's look at SPXW. Let's go all the way to January. There is no January 24th here. Let's look at SPX, or let's just look at SPY. Let's look at SPY. So it's at 371. Let's go all the way to January 2024, and let's find the 371 strike. So the closest thing is 370. Let's use the 370. You could see right off the bat, put is worth around between 32 and 36. So $34 was the last traded price, and the call is around $50. So that's a major difference here. Let's look at the break even. We've got, if I sell the 370 put minus $34, that's 336 of a break even if I sell the put. And if I work with the call side, 371 minus let's say something in between 45 and 50, let's say 47.5. So that puts me at 323, and I think I had said 336 for the call, for the put, minus 336, that's $12. That's a $12 difference. That's a lot. I mean, you get almost 36% more from selling the call. That has to mean something. I'm just not sure what it means, but it has to mean something. I mean, it must be a good indicator that the market is bullish. That's my opinion. If I hope someone can confirm or let me know what you think it means in the comment section below. But in about a year, it looks like the market is coming back up, or most people believe the market is coming back up. That's what it means. Now, whether it's happening or not, that's another story. Let's look at the triple Qs just to see if it's specific to individual stocks or if it's like the whole market. Let's look at 260. Let's go all the way to January 2024. 260 should be an easy one. So you can see the put is $27 and the call is $40. Come on, 40 divided by 27. That's 48% more. The call is 48% more expensive than the put. That is amazing. Wow. I don't know what that means seriously, because it's kind of obvious. The gap is too big. Let's look at Apple. Same thing, January 2024. So wow, 137. Wow, what's going on, man? So let's look at the 135, I guess. It's the closest thing. Put is around $16 and the call is $27. Another major call skew. So let's shy away from, let's look at Intel. Oh, it's another tech stock, but let's just look at Intel. Usually premiums are not high on Intel. So 27.56. So 27.50 put is 435. Call is 450. So okay, so there's no call skew in the case of Intel. It's trading, it's pretty close to each other. No call skew for Intel. So only for the big tech stocks and for the SPY and for triple Qs. What else can we look at? Google, Meta, SPY, Intel. I guess Amazon is definitely going to have a call skew. So January 24th, sorry. We're looking at 89. We do have the 89 put, $13. 89 call is $19. Wow. That's 19 divided by 13, 46%. Yeah, that's crazy. So there's already people buying leaps on a bunch of stocks thinking that the market is going to recover. There's way more people buying leaps than people buying puts. That's what this means. Let's look at Microsoft. I want to look at different stocks, different than tech, but I just keep coming up with tech stocks for some reason. It's the only thing on my mind. 215 put, $25. 215 call, $35. Another obvious call skew. I don't know. Let's look at Walmart, I guess. Walmart 140. Let's look at January 2024 at the 140. So the put is 12 and the call is 18. Another call skew. Let's look at Target. January 2024, we've got let's look at the 160 strike, 26 or 27 for the put, 32 for the call. So another call skew, but not that big, but definitely a noticeable call skew, especially on a safe stock like Target. Let's look at Home Depot, I guess. Home Depot, January 2024. So I guess, does that mean that the recession will last about a year? But if they're thinking, if the market is leaning on the call side, so by the end by the end of 2023, market should recover. Is that what this means? 280 on Home Depot, put is 33, and the call is 42. Yeah, another obvious call skew for sure. Let's look at Nvidia, everyone's favorite chip stock. So 134. Let's go to January 2024. 134. Let's go to 135. So the put is $27. The call is $33. So yeah, another call skew. Let's look at Domino's Pizza and then CMG. So DPZ January 2024, 350. Yeah, the put is around 43. The call is 60. Wow, that's major. Makes me want to sell call leaps. Just to take advantage of the extra premium on the call side, right? Actually, let's see what I can get. With, do I want to go with, let's see Google, because it dropped so much, it's ridiculous. So let's say I were to sell a covered call 1 year out on Google. Let's go at the money. Let's see what kind of return I can get. So I can get a return of 84. Or let's look at covered call. It'll be easier. If I look at 84 here, you get a return of, in a year's time, of 84 divided by 68. That's a 23% in 1 year if I sell a covered call on Google, at the money covered call on Google. As long as Google stays above 84 in a year, then I make my 23% return. But I still have some downside protection. I mean, my break even is around 68. If Google happens to be below 68 after January 2024, well, I still own shares. I'm down 23%, but I guess I can sell more covered calls at that time. But let's say I want some downside protection. I could go to the 80 strike, although it could probably reach 80 tomorrow, so it doesn't feel like a good 1 year downside protection picking the 80 strike. Let's look at Meta. I mean, it must have decent premiums right now. So Meta is 88. Let's look at the covered call here. Let's look at the money. So it's around 88, January 2024. So if we look at the 90, let's say the 90 covered call, that would give me a return of 67. So that's 34% in 1 year if I take the 90 strike. Now what if we take the 70 strike? 70 divided by 56. 70 divided by 56 is a 25% return in 1 year. As long as Meta stays above 70 by January 24th, you guarantee yourself a 25% return. And basically, you're also giving yourself some downside protection. So Meta can still fall from 88 to 70. So from 88 to 70, sorry. So Meta can still drop 21% and you would guarantee yourself a 24% return on Meta. And what did I say? 70 divided by 56, 25%. You can guarantee yourself a 25% return on Meta, and you still have room for Meta to drop 20%, and you could guarantee that 25% return. So I don't know. Does that sound good? All right, let me know if this means anything, this major call skew. Does it mean that the market's recovering in a year? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to use my affiliate links if you're going to open a brokerage account. I've got one for Questrade, one for Interactive Brokers, and one for Wealthsimple. Thanks for watching.